Hey everyone, good morning to you. Thanks for being with us for a CBS 8 Plus extended forecast on a day with critical fire danger across San Diego County as Santa Ana winds pick up again. We have seen that early this morning a couple showers came into play across the mountains and deserts. Quite a mix of weather across our county, and when we look at other parts of the country, things are quite the opposite. There's plenty of rain, snow all across the eastern half of the country. Polar vortex pulling freezing air across mainly the northern half of the country. And we here in San Diego woke up this morning to some of the warmest temperatures across the nation, and now we will watch for wind speeds to pick up. Want to point out what that's going to look like for us today through Thursday. We've got our most intense wind gusts coming in the afternoon stretch, picking up today, peaking on Wednesday, dying down on Thursday. Intense winds and low relative humidity out there, which will spike our fire danger. We've got speeds between 30 and 40 miles per hour, gusts up to 75 miles per hour. The biggest suggestions we have on hand: prepare for some difficult driving conditions, especially off toward our mountain passes. Down trees and power lines are a possibility. And then, of course, as always, have an evacuation plan in place. These are the showers that we were talking about across the county early this morning. Mountains and deserts are pretty much the only spots that we saw that activity picking up. Close to the coastline and inland, we actually woke up to clear skies, blue out there, not a cloud in sight. So quite a different scenario depending on where you are as we start off the morning. But what we're going to be gearing up for this afternoon, all the way through Wednesday and even Thursday, is our next Santa Ana wind event. Santa Ana winds are when those winds shift from the east. Those powerful winds are both dry and warm, so sending both warm and dry air over the mountains toward the coast and our inland valleys. This will be in effect, that high wind warning, through 6 p.m. on Wednesday with speeds between 30 and 40 miles per hour. We talked about these 65 mile per hour gusts, but some isolated gusts up to 75 miles per hour as well along the coast, inland, and toward the mountains. Inland valleys and mountains are also under a red flag warning. That extends not only through San Diego County, but all the way up to the LA and Santa Barbara area from now through 6 p.m. on Thursday. So that's, of course, meaning that if a fire starts, it can spread very rapidly. Fires can start very quickly thanks to that low relative humidity and then difficult driving conditions, as we touched on a little bit earlier. This stays in effect through Thursday. After Thursday, we'll start to see some improvements made. Wind speeds will die down, and humidity will start to kind of balance out. Onshore flow could really help us out by the end of the week and the weekend. In the meantime, I want to pause this at about 3 p.m. today, where we're looking at gusts upwards of 30 and 40 miles per hour. Pine Valley at 45, Julian at 30, Palomar Mountain at 37. Very windy across our county. What we're going to be factoring in is that winds could be even more intense from Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday afternoon. So things die down a bit overnight and then pick right back up by Wednesday afternoon. Here's 2 p.m. We're at 50 miles per hour in Pine Valley, 44 in Julian, 37 up at Palomar Mountain. This is where we see that chance for some power companies to shut off power, because if a power line were to fall, it could start a fire very fast. That's, of course, the big concern. So we'll see the possibility of planned power shutoffs. We'll see the possibility of some trees uprooting and falling. It's all going to really be exacerbated by those light showers that we're watching for across the mountains and deserts, because if things get saturated, they can kind of loosen the soil out there. So we'll watch for this afternoon, Tuesday, tomorrow afternoon, Wednesday, and then dying down as we go into Thursday, but still pretty breezy out there. Here's 3 p.m. on Thursday. Still upwards of 20, 30 miles per hour. Across the coastline and inland, that's where we'll start to get a little bit of a break on hand. Want to point out what that looks like in terms of our afternoon high temperatures. Today, we've got a lot of upper 60s and low 70s out there. It's going to be a warmer than normal day as that warm and dry air is pulled from the mountains and deserts toward the coastline. So instead of the 60s and 70s toward the mountains and deserts, they've got 50s, a couple 60s to work with. We're going to get even warmer tomorrow across the coastline. Could get all the way up to 73 degrees out there under mostly sunny skies. Temperatures slide by about 10 degrees between tomorrow and Saturday. It's not going to be all that noticeable, though, because the sun will still be beaming down on us for virtually every day moving forward. Across our inland valleys, afternoon highs in the 70s through Friday. So enjoy this stretch of warmer than normal weather and a lack of cloud cover and fog out there. For the mountains and deserts, all the red on here are weather impact alert days because of the high wind warning and red flag warnings in place. Temperatures are going to be cooler than normal for Tuesday and Wednesday. Notice these 50s out there, warming up to the 60s as we get into the end of the week and next week as well. Again, another stretch out there, 7 days taking us into the beginning of the next work week and into about the middle of January at that point, with dry skies across San Diego County. We'll see if these scattered rain showers that we watched this morning actually accumulate to anything, but even if they do, they won't count into San Diego's totals, downtown San Diego's totals at least. Remember, this is an evolving situation. High winds, high fire danger, very dry conditions out there. You can keep up to date with the latest, and it's a good idea to do so on the CBS 8 app. You can also download our free streaming channel on Roku TV, Fire TV, and Apple TV.